Hello and welcome to By Popular Demand. Today I'm going to be giving you some tips for dealing with anxiety. So in my last video I talked about anxiety, and I just want to follow up with some tips for how I deal with anxiety when I experience it and I kind of need to get over it and get on with my day. So I'm going to be giving 4 tips for dealing with anxiety. Tip number 1, understanding and accepting that you are anxious. So in the moment when you feel that stress and tension and you start to have maybe even racing thoughts or however your anxiety presents in you, it's important to take a second and acknowledge, hey, I'm anxious. What am I going to do about it? So acknowledging that you're having the feeling of anxiety will help you decide on a coping strategy for it. Trying to ignore anxiety tends to build more anxiety. It just stacks on top of itself, and you can become really worked up. Tip number 1 is tell yourself, I am anxious, but it's okay. I can handle it. And then decide on what are you going to do next? What's your next move as far as handling the anxiety? Tip number 2, question your thoughts. So a lot of times when we're anxious, we start to have irrational thoughts. We start worrying about things that really there's no need to worry about right then and there. And it's important to assess the situation and question what you're thinking, because you can be thinking irrationally. Anxiety can create a catastrophic chain of thoughts where you only see the worst possible outcome in a situation. I learned in therapy that feelings are not facts. So because we feel like something bad is going to happen, that doesn't necessarily make it true, and questioning that can be beneficial. Examples of questions that you can ask yourself. These are questions I ask myself. The first question I ask myself is, am I tripping? Am I tripping, or is something actually happening? And that really is the best question for me, to just really ask myself, girl, you tripping? Or are you in danger? Is that a big deal? What is going on? Another question you ask yourself is this situation really happening this way? Is it really going down how I feel it's going down? Or is my anxiety getting the best of me? A lot of times we ask, we see, what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? That's a question I hear all the time. What's the worst thing that can happen? When I'm anxious, something that helps me is, what's the best thing that can happen in this situation? Like if I'm in a place where I start really thinking about the worst possible outcome, I ask myself, well, what's the best thing that can happen? Am I going to walk out of here with a promotion? Am I going to walk out of here with something positive? And then I try to let the positive chain of thought outweigh the negative chain of thought. Tip number 3, focusing on right now, the moment right now. A lot of times with anxiety, we will focus or worry about something bad happening in the future, or we hold on to something that happens in the past, maybe a regret or something, and we start dwelling on it, and it can create those feelings of anxiety. So a thing that I do is try to focus on right now. What's going on right now? Why am I worried about a bill that might be due next Tuesday? It's not due right now. And why am I beating myself up about something that happened 3 years ago? It's not happening right now. Nobody probably even remembers that it happened. So it's important to take a look around and see what is around you. Like right now, I'm in my kitchen, and if I were to be feeling anxious, I would stop and I would say, okay, you're here, you're in the kitchen, there's the stove, there's the plant. You're fine, hon. You're tripping. All right, so this is the best tip, and this is the thing that I do all the time. I do this even when I'm not anxious. It's just really an awesome thing. And it is deep breathing, or belly breathing is sometimes called, but deep breathing. And there's a specific type of deep breathing that I like to do that's really good. And it is called the 4-7-8 technique of deep breathing. And so it's important to also, when you do deep breathing, to make sure you're doing it correctly, because a lot of times when we take a deep breath, we like in our chest, and that's really not the proper way to take a deep breath. The best way to take a deep breath is to push your belly out, so, and your chest does go up, but not like that, you know? You know what I'm saying? I hope you know what I'm saying. For 4-7-8, what you do is you breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. You hold that breath for 7 seconds, and then you exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. And you want to make sure that you do what they call pursed lips. I really haven't looked at what pursed lips is, but this is how I do my lips. I guess it's like a purse, like the top of a little purse with your lips. So you want to make sure you're breathing in through your nose, holding it, and then breathing out through your mouth. And normally I don't really know the recommended time to do it, but I do it at least 10 times, and I'm telling you, I am instantly relaxed. Really, sometimes when I'm in bed, because my mind goes on and on and on and on with, I just think a mile a minute. I do this before bed. It helps me to fall asleep, and it really works. And there are other deep breathing exercises out there that you guys can look up and see, but 4-7-8 is the one that I use, and it's just, I do it right now. And it's something about when you breathe out for 8 seconds, it's like you really getting it all the air out, and a little bit of the stress goes out with it, I think. I don't know. I really like that exercise. So I hope that these tips have been helpful, and I hope that you can use them in the future if you're feeling a little anxious. I hope that they're helpful to you. And so if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Share it with anyone who may benefit from these tips. And I will see you next time.